Welcome to another episode of the So Here For It podcast. My name is Amy Mingin, and today we are talking all about your hourly rate and why you're probably not quite making the money that you would like, and exactly how you're going to from now on. I kid you not, as soon as you will finish this episode, you are going to have the exact steps that you can take in order to get to where you want to be income wise, the amount of clients that you want to see, but do it in a way that feels easy breezy rather than hustle. Okay, let's get started. So, I want to talk about why your current hourly rate is just keeping you stuck. It's keeping you in this rat race feeling, and it's just keeping you in the exact same business model. So, if you're a talented practitioner, you probably think that seeing as many clients as you possibly can during the week is going to make you enough money. But the thing is, I know this. I've done it myself, and so many of my clients have. And some of them are sitting at like $1,500 a week, $2,000 a week, but they can't quite make it beyond that. And here is the reason why: because they're only selling single sessions. And the single sessions are actually the thing that wear you out so much more than anything else. And, you know, there are a lot of people out there who are so damn good at what they do, like so good. And I want to give you an exercise to do today that is going to show you a whole different business model, and it's going to blow your mind, the amount of clients you can help as well as money that you can make. But I want to create a pact here. Can you promise me that you have an open mind? That the old business model of whatever anybody else taught you, you're going to go into this with a beginner mindset and be open-minded, because otherwise you might not love what you hear. No, I actually do. I do think that you're going to absolutely love what I'm going to share with you today, because it is so much easier and it actually serves so many more people. So I want you to think about how often you think you need to work harder and just keep booking more clients and just keep figuring out more things to do with marketing and new strategies inside your business in order to make more money. Like, how many times has somebody tried to teach you something, or have you tried to learn something on a free webinar or a podcast or somebody's short course or something like that, but maybe you haven't implemented it, or maybe you implemented some of it, but you actually got stressed and then you ended up just reverting back to what you always knew. It's like the most common thing that I see. Now, there is a really big mindset shift that is necessary in order for you to realize the value of what you bring into this world. And I shared this the other day inside my Confident and Paid workshop, that think about this. There are people out there who have been told that that they're infertile, that they'll never have a baby. And there are people who I've worked with who have been told that, and they have 2 kids now. And I know for sure I'm not the only person who's ever helped people have kids. I know for sure I'm not the only person who helps people with their digestion so that they can digest their food, so that they can absorb better, so that they no longer have nutritional deficiencies. And I sure as heck am not the last person who will ever give you mindset or money tips inside your business so that you can actually serve people the way that you want to serve them. Now, I want you to have a think about the transformations that you've actually already helped your clients with. And if you're still a student, think about the people who you've already given advice to. And if you're not a practitioner, think about the people who you've given advice to and how much you've actually helped to change people's lives. Because it's pretty darn amazing. The work that we do in this world, it changes lives. And you get to actually be paid well for that. I want you to have a think about, what is that actually worth to somebody? When they've actually been told that there's no hope from somebody else, and then you actually give them hope, you might surprise the heck out of them, actually. And imagine if they've only paid you hundreds or maybe a couple of $1,000s for that. That is life changing. And that is what we're talking about today. You know what you know inside out. And I want you to value that. I don't want you to have listened to your lecturers to say that charging X amount of dollars is unethical. Oh, you have to be more like the doctors and the dentists and have different lines that mean different things inside the invoice. I don't want you to put yourself in a category the same as other practitioners, because you're just not. The work that you do in this world is special. The work that you do in this world is somewhat full of miracles. And I think that you deserve to be paid for that, don't you? I don't want you to open up your calendar and be like, oh my freaking God, it is so busy. I just need a break. And I tell you a story. So there was a conference that I went to in Adelaide a few years ago, probably like 5 years ago now, 6 years ago now, actually. And in the car with a couple of very prominent naturopaths in the community, and one of them is a gut health expert, and he is from Tasmania. And the other guy was like, "Oh my gosh, I've heard that you're like 2 years booked out in advance." And I just was like, "Oh, that sounds awful. When do you ever get a holiday? When do you ever get time off? When do you ever like get to do things that you want to do?" And he literally was like, "Oh, I've got something booked for like October next year." And I was like, yeah, interesting that. That's not the life I want to live. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be booked out 2 years in advance. I want to be able to shift things around and have control over my own calendar and have control over if I am in late luteal and don't want to see clients that day. I want to be able to be in charge with when I launch something and when I create a whole bunch of abundance in my business and life, don't you? I think that there is something there that people are actually terrified of scarcity, that they're equally terrified of being abundant. So I want to just like see where you're at right now. I want to see how this is landing with you. Like I want you to actually ask yourself, if I were to continue exactly the way that I am, at the rate that I am, seeing the number of clients that I am, would I be totally happy? If the answer is yes, then brilliant. Well done. But if it's not, keep listening because I know for sure that there are so many different ways that you can change your business model that is going to suit you, not only suit you, but is going to actually revolutionize your clients' lives as well. So, talk about packages because there are very talented people out there and they're still just charging for single sessions. And whilst they might get well booked, there are still a whole lot of people that slip through the cracks and they know it. They know it and they haven't necessarily done anything about it because they don't have access to this particular framework. And you get access to this framework. Stay to the end because I've got it down the bottom. I'm going to teach it to you. I want to do some math with you. There was a client of mine who was booked out months in advance and she was only charging $120 an hour. And I was like, oh my gosh, you are so good at what you do. Why are you only charging that much? She has literally just like put this ceiling above her head of the number of people she could see per week and the amount of money that she could make per week. And whilst it was enough for their family to live. She's the breadwinner. It still wasn't very much money. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that we could like 10x that just by switching your business model. So I want to do some math with you. With the lady seeing her clients, she was doing about 25 client sessions, sometimes more, but let's say it's 25 client sessions a month, $3,000. It's not a lot. In my eyes, that is not a lot in this day and age. And she's like, I definitely could do with more. And she had some other income streams. So it was like filling gaps for her. But that's a lot of clients for some people, and it's not a lot of clients for others. But think about it, at $120 an hour, it's not a lot of money. So how would we change it? How would we change it? I think that she was feeling busy because she only had a set amount of time to spend with those clients. She wasn't spending any time on marketing and she had only word of mouth clients. And I said to her, well, what would it take to get you to $5,000 a month? And she was like, oh, I just can't fit them in. He wanted $5,000 a month at $120 an hour. I'll work it out for you. She would need to do over 42 sessions. And she's just like, oh boy, she's like, I just don't know where I'd fit all those people in because she still had young kids, right? So this is a mum and she was still doing, full-time mum as well as like putting her business in. And she was happy because she was booked out, but she wasn't happy because she was so capped. Like, okay, we really need to change this business model. And with a lot of umming and ahhing, with a lot of talking through mindset, with a lot of speaking about where she wants to be money wise, she realized that that business she was in was not scaling. It couldn't possibly be scaled because it was only utilizing time for money. And she was getting those people whilst they were coming in and they were actually a lot of referrals, which was great. She didn't need to learn marketing. She was too scared to market because she was already booked out. So it was like this catch-22. No matter what way I went, I was like, we can't do it in the current business model. So I want you to have a think about now for you, what is involved not just in your client facing. Let's think about subscriptions that you have, the time that it takes, like toing and froing, booking people in for appointments, following people up in emails, sending treatment plans, doing treatment plans, sending out invoices, out all those little admin things, sending out an order, going to the post office, making sure that you're getting some marketing done. Some people do and some people don't. Highly recommend that you do. But also that like actual space that you hold for your clients while they're working with you. No one talks about this, but I do. Because we hold a particular space for our clientele. There is a lot that we hold. And there is something in this that is extremely healing that no doctors actually touch. People go in, feel unseen and unheard, but they come to people like us because they actually have their space held. And what is the price of that? I think it's worthwhile actually having a think about what is the value of that, because I value it. I value going to someone who I feel I get seen and heard and actually have a decent conversation with them and actually can speak about different topics with them without them dismissing me or gaslighting me. It's a really big deal. So I want you to think about that. What is that? What is that valued for you? And let's just add on top of that, my client who was charging $120 an hour, she wasn't getting paid for her treatment plans. She wasn't getting paid for all of those extra hours she was spending researching, nor was she getting paid for all of the things when she would go and mix up the herbs and send things out and go do the dispensary things. And there is a lot of extra admin involved with running a really strong clinic, with even in a coaching business as well, all of the follow-ups that you do, all of the extras that you provide those clients. No one's actually charging for that if they're just doing a per hour rate, right? Practitioners that I tend to talk to, not many of them are seeing upwards of like 25 to 30 clients a month yet. But if they were, they would be, sitting at decent numbers, maybe like $1,000 a week. But they always want more. As soon as they get to that $1,000 a week, they're like, okay, I'm ready for more. And for good reason. And I want you to be able to get that so much easier. So remember, you guys, like, and me included, like we have been to university. A lot of us have help debts. A lot of us have money owing in that part because of our education. You deserve to be paid well for that, right? You deserve it. Like I ceases to amaze me how many people just trade their time for money, but forget all the ways that they actually got to where they got to. And some of you will have your own health journey. Some of you will have so much lived experience before you even become a practitioner or a coach. And then people just like completely disregard that as their value. And it's like, no, you get to bring all those versions of you from all the people who you've learned from and all the money that you spent on your education and experience. It's worth a hell of a lot. So I want you to, I really hope that this lands for you, that you are valuable. What you share is valuable. The space that you hold is valuable. All of the time that you spend with your clients and on like with and behind the scenes is all super valuable. So next I want you to think about, okay, as part of your business, how are people booking in with you? Is it an easy process? Is it predictable? Because I see inside the practitioner groups, it's so like unreliable. It's uncertain. I want certainty. They're looking for certainty in their business. And I want to say this, business is not certain. Life is not certain. The place where you find certainty is inside yourself, which is why I do heart coherence meditation every day. And I highly suggest you do. I can put the link in the show notes. Heart coherence brings you your mind, body, and so your coherence brings your heart and your mind and your emotions into alignment, so it's easier for you to take action. Because if you're not taking action, you're in procrastination, you're probably in functional freeze, and not a lot of work gets done there. And we can't forward our businesses if we're in functional freeze. It just doesn't happen. So do heart coherence every single day. Your clients will feel if you are desperate. Your clients will feel if you need them. So I want you to come from the place of, yes, I can help you, but I don't need you. And there is an abundance to that. Your clients will feel that energy from you. So I want you to think about, where are these clients coming from? Are you doing marketing? Do you have a plan? Is there something that you follow? Is it working? Because plenty of people could be doing their own marketing, but it might not be working. You might not be getting leads. You might not be growing on social media. But if you put posts out there and you're getting DMs, you're getting engagement, you're getting discovery calls, and you're getting bookings, then you're onto a good thing. So that's how you know if it's working. If you're not getting any of that, then we need to chat. I want you to also have a think about, if you're not doing any marketing, it's time to start marketing. And you can come into my social media at Amy Mingin, DM me the word client, and I'll give you a PDF for free, absolutely free. And you'll see that workflow as to how to get a client this week. So if that's what you need, please reach out. I have the resources for you. Freebies aren't converting. We can chat about that another time. I think that's a whole other episode. But I want you to think about getting more visible online. Are you doing it from a place of authenticity? Are you doing it from a place of desperation? Or are you doing it from a place of, this is part of my business structure? Because there are three very different things there. And I think if you can mix your authentic genius and your gifts together with your marketing plan, that's when more and more people are going to come in and actually step in and want to work with you. The things that happen usually is people don't know what to say. They don't know who they're talking to. So then they don't show up, or they just show up randomly. And so they get random results. And I don't want that for you. I want you to have more predictable results. I said in the beginning, it isn't necessarily a certainty, but it becomes more certain when you are putting things in place that give you a really great foundation. So that's what I want you to actually tune into. So when I first started talking to people about packages, the most common thing that I would hear from them is, but no one will pay that much. Amy, no one will pay that. And I'm like, well, how much are you wanting to charge? So some people were like, it's 500, it's 600, it's 700, it's 800, it's 900. So in my Woman of Value mastermind, some people, their lowest, I think, is 550. And the highest one in there is 2,000. No, actually 3,000 is the highest package that anyone can buy inside of Woman of Value. Out of all my different women who are in there, the highest one that one of them sells is 3,000. It's all around like the to 1,200 sort of mark. And people are like, but no one will buy it. And I'm like, I have so much evidence to show that people are buying packages. People truly want transformation. They are sick of the Band-Aid approach. They are sick of having to take a pill for this and a potion for that. They genuinely want to invest in themselves, and they genuinely want to commit to change. And I see it time and time again. And you first have got to believe in you. You first have got to believe that you value what it is that you bring to people. Once you do that, it's very easy to create your own package. It's very easy to take them along a journey in order to help them to transform. Because we're not just taking somebody diagnosis to only one step. We're going to take them at least a few steps while they work with us, right? We're going to help with a few different body systems and bringing so much more clarity to them about their health. And it's not just about changing their diet and lifestyle. This is about like actually helping to educate them as to why the thing happened in the first place. And we're actually preventing things from happening in the future. It's like, we do so much more for people than what you guys recognize. Or maybe you do recognize it, but I actually just really want you to value it. I really want you to value it. I value you. I hope you do by the end of this episode. I think you will. So I have known people to be doing this time for money thing. Then they get burnt out. And then people are like, I don't want to burn out. I don't want to be one of those practitioners that burns out. Oh, maybe I'm not going to be a clinician. But you can be a clinician. You can make more than enough money. And you can do it by seeing like 3 or 4 people a week. It's true. You most certainly can. And I know you think that people aren't going to pay it, and that's fine. You can think that, but people actually do. And if you've got imposter syndrome, like I don't know enough, or there's other people who are better than me, or whatever it is, your people are going to resonate with you. That's why they come to you. They are going to resonate with you, but they can only find you if you're showing up on your social media. They can only buy from you if you're actually talking about what your package is, right? Can you see how this is all very, very important, how it all fits together inside a package, how it all fits together inside a particular business model, and how this business model could literally be the thing that's been missing, the thing that, other people just don't talk about because it could be, it's just some people, I know, I've been told, to some people on social media, I'm super triggering. Why is it triggering to talk about money? Why is it triggering to take people on a transformation process? Why is it triggering to own our own value? I do wonder if I was in a different part of the world, like say America, I do wonder if they would be having the same projections on me. I doubt it. I think that Australia and New Zealand have this thing called tall poppy syndrome. And that's why a lot of people feel like imposters because they don't want to shine. They don't want to be too big. They don't want to stand out from the crowd. But I want you to. I do. And sometimes it's like, okay, no, they don't agree with me. But what if you stopped just doing the same thing and getting the same result? And instead of that, you actually did something different, got a different result that actually might change your life. What if you did that? There's so much more available to you. And I want to help you actually get there. Now, I want you to think about other reasons why, like, this might come through because limiting beliefs could be some of your money that this could be stories that you've heard in the past. This could be just fear patterns that are playing out. And you think that by discounting your services or just doing once offs because, oh, we don't know what their budget is, etc. You don't know what their budget is. But then I don't know about you guys. I've sometimes had people who I've felt sorry for and I've given them a discount. And then the next week they're off to Italy or they've gone and taken their entire family to the snow. And I'm like, they could afford what I was offering them. But because I felt sorry for them because they had mentioned something, I didn't charge the full price or I didn't charge the package. I want you guys to learn from where I've come from because it is so important to value yourself. I don't want you to wait until you're already burnt out or wait till you're like got enough clients before you do this. You can start this literally at the very beginning of your business. And one of my clients, Ophelia, she actually did. She hasn't ever just done a once off. She's always done packages from the get go. And she is doing so great. So, so great. So I want you to have a think about keep attracting the same clients as you do right now. Are you going to be satisfied with that? Keep doing what you're doing. Is it going to be sustainable? Or if you doubled what you were doing right now, is that sustainable? I mean, just to have a think about like different timelines of, their potentials that you could go down, potential paths that you could go down. And maybe you feel confident just saying, oh, yeah, that's $200 or, oh, yeah, that's $120. But it's such tiny money. And if you challenged yourself and you did, like what would go into a $2,000 package with you? Have a think about it. What would? And then what would it take for you to be able to articulate the value of that transformation that you're going to take that person on, of that like full pathway that you're taking that person on? I know for sure you're going to be in a hell of a lot more abundance if somebody's paying you 2,000 compared to if they were just paying you 120. And then you've got to do all that stuff on the outside. You've got to do the ordering and you've got to do the admin and all of the other things. There are so many different ways to do this. And I just want you to start really valuing that. And like the word that comes to mind is unapologetic. What if you were actually unapologetic with your pricing for once? How would that feel? What if you were a little bit audacious or bold? How would that feel? Sit with that for a second. Like, what if you said to yourself right now, you can pause it and go, all right, if I charge $2,000 to my next client, what would that feel like? And some of you are probably freaking out me even saying that, but some of you are very excited by it. I know for sure somebody is going to get the fire in their tummy and they're going to be like, yes, I really, really want to do this. How else do you get confident? But by taking action. So, my suggestion here is if this is firing you up, I have something for you. I have something for you because it's not just about setting up the package. It's also about being able to create the content. It's also about being able to have conversations in the DMs. And it is also about being able to have a discovery call with somebody and take them through a sales process that is very easy, not salesy whatsoever. It's purely about being able to ask what's happening with them and matching what's happening with them to your package. It is actually super simple. And I went through this the other day inside my Confident and Paid workshop, and all of the packages information is inside Packages Are the Answer. Now, I want to let you know that at the moment I am on a Black Friday sale. So if you're listening to this episode and it is before the 30th of November 2025, please follow the link below and I will take you through to my bundle because it is going to give you Packages Are the Answer and Confident and Paid, which is the exact framework that you need to implement this. Now, some people are going to listen to this and be like, eh. And other people are so excited. So, you excited ones? I really want you to take action on this because if you're sitting there being like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to do time for money and then maybe like have a hobby on the side and then maybe I might occasionally be able to do my marketing, like, we're not here for that. I want you to have more predictable outcomes in your life. And the way to get predictable outcomes is to set yourself up for them. Like, what if you decided that you were the lucky person? What if you this initiative and went, it's $47. What have I got to lose? You've got absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain because if you go $47 and you go in and you actually sell a $2,000 client, you've just made a 200% ROI. Like it is phenomenal. Okay. And I want you to be able to experience this for yourself. So follow the link below. I want you to have great cash flow. I want you to have great clients. I want you to have a great life. And I am just so grateful to be able to share all of these gifts and talents with you today. So thank you so much for having me in your ears. Make sure you jump into that link. Make sure you're liking and following, and please share this episode with someone who needs it because I know for sure the more people who listen to this, who are naturopaths, nutritionists, healers, coaches, the more people actually get to value themselves, but also be able to package things up in a way that is going to change, revolutionize not only your life, but also your clients. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the next episode.